Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a good one for you. We are going to be discussing how I saw massive student success using a flipped classroom model in my 5th grade classroom for our math block. This video is going to give you all the details that you need to know if you want to flip your classroom for your math block specifically. I'm going to be talking about the benefits and what I witnessed as a teacher doing this strategy. I'm going to be teaching you how to manage your math block if you do want to do a flipped classroom style. Stay to the end of the video because I had to, for fun, tell you a little story time about how when I incorporated this flipped classroom strategy into my 5th grade classroom, how it created so much drama within my 5th grade team. It was crazy and bizarre and wild and unhinged. If you are new here, hi, my name is Bree, and I have been teaching close to a decade at this point in the public school space. I've done elementary school, special ed, I am now in middle school, I've subbed high school, I have been in it. And just for added fun, I do have a master's degree in curriculum and instruction, just to throw that out there. And I truly do love lesson design, classroom management, teaching things. So that's why I'm here. And before we get into the nitty-gritty, I do want to share that I have my flipped classroom math block for 5th grade on TPT. It's exactly what I used and what I will be referring to within this whole video. What I did is I packaged it up into a TPT product. You get everything that you want, all the video links, all the assignments. It's a really powerful resource that I want to leave down below. And also I'm going to be referencing this video that I created. I will leave the link to this video in the description. You can watch it if you want. I do talk about how I flipped my classroom in real time. Today, it's been, I think, 3 years since I posted that video, and I have notes on what I want to share and some reflection, because when I posted that last video, I was in the middle of it. That was me running that play, running that strategy for about 4 months. I completed the flipped classroom model for 5th grade for the entire school year, and now I have enough evidence and data to support that I did see a lot of success with my students. I have testing math data to prove it, and I need to share the knowledge. I need to share with you. So first, let's just give a little overview on what a flipped classroom even means. So a flipped classroom is a teaching model that reverses traditional lectures and homework, where students first learn new material at home via video lectures or readings, and then uses class time for the assignment, for the interactive learning, for the hands-on activities, problem solving, etc. The version of flipped classroom I did with my 5th grade class was, that sounds great, and I think in a certain situation that would be perfect. However, I'm well aware that I work in the public school space where I do believe students should be learning at home and being reinforced with learning at home. The fact of the matter is, a lot of students have a lot of after-school activities, and I kind of wanted to take a different approach to this. So instead of having students work at home with this flipped classroom style, I flipped my math block. Hopefully this makes sense. Let's dive a little bit deeper. So in my math block, we did math in the morning. We had our morning routine, right? And then we got into our math block at the top of the hour. So how I set up my math block was, instead of giving whole group instruction to a crowd of 20, 30 kids, I decided that the night before, the day before I left my classroom, I would plan ahead, I would record the math video lesson. Here's like a little, like a visual of it. I recorded a little video lesson, very clean, very straightforward, very to the point of teaching that math topic on the whiteboard, recorded it, uploaded it onto YouTube, and provided a video link for students to click onto. They had their Chromebooks, they had their headphones, they're at their desk in their own little bubble, and they were learning the math content, the math topic, and the strategy at their own pace. So let me reiterate what I'm saying so it makes sense. I want to make sure that this makes sense. Students would come in, we would start our math block. In the beginning of the math block, my students knew, and I'll talk about management in a little bit, but my students knew it's time for math. They grabbed their sheet for the day, their answer sheet. They watched the math video. They had dry erase markers and boards at their desk. They took it out. They would watch the video, pause when I told them to pause, try the problem out themselves, unpause, check their answer. So instead of doing whole group live and teaching in that way, I found it to be way more beneficial for me to record the lessons and upload them. This was beneficial for a couple reasons. It was better use of my time as a teacher, because I think you've been there and you understand what I'm saying is when you are at the front of the room and you can feel when students are tapped in. You can feel when students are listening and engaged and actually like taking in the learning. Well, you know how hard that is to do with 30 kids in a whole group math instruction? Some kids can't see the board, some kids sit so far away, some kids are very hyperactive, some kids have different like IEPs, and there's, you know, the kids have all different needs. So what's more beneficial? Me standing at the room and doing, you know, whole group instruction. I know there's a time and place for it, but in my opinion, math block time, let's do math at your level. I want to make sure the students are fully engaged and can see, and I'm able to clearly lay out each step of the math instruction. Another reason why I chose to do it this way, and I can call this a flipped classroom model, is because I know a lot of parents, and I empathize with this, are very confused on the new way of teaching math based upon Common Core state standards. I understand. Now I'm like, okay, how can I support families? How can I help the family who wants to help their child at home? One, is stretched for time because they work and have other kids or whatever life. Two, doesn't know how to teach according to Common Core state standards because it's different. It's different strategy, right? It's different ways of teaching. And how can I support the students outside the classroom? And here's another one. How can I support students who are absent, who are missing school, who need to catch up? I can't like, you know, the video is the way to go, I'm telling you. So all those reasons gave me the idea, and coming out of COVID, let's be real, gave me the idea of how can I streamline my math instruction to hit all of these points, also offering great math instruction and help, and meeting with students one-on-one. What the heck? Basically, I'm like, how can I maximize my math block time? How can I get the most out of this? This is how my math block looked. Math block time. All right, let's go. Let's get it done. Bam, bam, bam. I would have the presentation on my board saying to do. I would give out specific to-dos. You are going to do this lesson. You are going to complete this assignment. And here's the kicker. The practice problems students would do and I would assign, I would do no more than 5. Students do not need to do 20 to master the skill. I'm comfortable with 4 to 5 because either you got it or you don't. Either you're messing up a little bit and you mostly get it, but you don't need to do 20 math problems. When I was in school, I would have to do like 20 math problems to show that I mastered the skill, and I don't really think that's necessary. If I am measuring to see if the skill or the standard is mastered, I don't need to see the student do it 20 times. I'm comfortable with 5. I'm comfortable with shortening that out, and I want to see the steps, and I'm able to conference one-on-one with students. So that to me is way more better use of time than students doing 20 math problems and then taking it home for homework and not having any type of resource to help them. So they would go to their desks, they would take out their math block or their math answer page, have headphones, go to Google Classroom or Canvas. I can't remember what I used. I would use Canvas at this point, whatever your district uses. And they would click on the video and they would work out the problems, show their work, share the answer, okay? They would make sure they showed their work. They would circle their answer. Then as a majority of the class was doing that, I would say like 80% of the kids were working independently at their desks, watching the video, doing this assignment, actually doing it, I would pull small group. So while the kids that are on target, the kids that are at grade level, the kids, even the high achievers, the gifted, they were doing their own thing. They could handle it. They're at that level where I had maybe 10, 15, I can't remember. Oh my gosh, it was not 15. Oh no. You get what I'm saying. So I would take the students in small group. They would automatically know who they were. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. They had designated like little cards they would have. It was discreet. It was low key. Like I don't need to say, Rachel, come to small group, let's go, you're struggling in math. Like I don't need to yell that or say that. I can just give a little like card, give it to them for math block time, keep it low key, keep it chill. Hey, I need to see you for small group. Like I need to see you over here, right? Like, so those students would know, let's come to small group. We would work together. We would practice a skill before this main skill because we know not all students are at grade level, even though they're in 5th grade. So I would reinforce the skill that they would need before mastering that main skill that we're working on. We would do that in small group, reinforce that, remind them of that. And then I would say, okay, with this, let's do one together. We would do like the next step together, and then I would let them go to the computers and do the flipped classroom model of math instruction. Now that's probably 20 minutes. Already 20 minutes of math block. Students are working, they're learning. I already met with my small group. We're good, we're golden. Do I want to say we're Gucci? We're Gucci. After that, I still have an hour of math block time. So then I would sit at my desk. I would have a standing desk. I would stand or sit. And students were taught on the routine of once they're done watching the math video and once they are done answering their 4 math questions and answers, showing me their work, they need to write their name at the top of, they need to write their name on my board. On my board, I had numbers 1 through 30, however many students there were. They write their name on name on the board, and then they come up to me and we conference. Love this so much. So they would come up to me and we would conference, and they would have their math sheet. I would sit down, I would have my pen, and I would ask them like, how are you feeling? Like, what do you do? Like, I would have a conversation with them. How are you doing with this math topic? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? It's quick. And the more you do this, the easier it gets on you and the students to like know what to expect. So I would conference with them. I would see what they were doing. I would look at their answers first. Did they get it right? Okay, let me look at their work. If they didn't get it right, I would say, okay, like you messed up here. Let me see this. I would see their work. I would take my pen and I would say, look, you're messed up. You messed up here. Rewatch the video and try this again. And then I would conference with them and say, okay, so I see that you didn't line up your decimals. Then we would chat, okay, like this is why we line up our decimals. I want you to rewatch the video and I want you to try this problem again. Okay, I want you to do it again. So they would leave my room, or they would leave my conference if they didn't meet my expectation, which is getting 3 out of the 4 correct. That's 75%. I'm good with that. Okay, that means they get the gist. That's the average. It's good for me, 75%. Anything lower than the 75, I'm like, no, you need to redo it. Like we need to conference a little bit more. But they would go back, correct their work and bring it back up to me. I would grade it, bam. I would put the grade in the grade book right then, right there. I would grade the paper, like on the sheet, you will see there's a spot for you to write the grade. You write the grade. They bring it home. show their parent. It's in the grade book right then and there. Do you see? I'm able to conference with my students one-on-one. I'm able to see where they're at. I'm getting really great formative data right then and there in the moment at that time. And I just really, really liked it. Now let's talk about the benefits of what I witnessed doing this type of classroom math block structure. So first, it promoted student independence. Oh my God. Do you know you need to teach independence? Like, holy moly. I think teaching independence for students is extremely underrated, and that was the #1 thing I loved. I love that, okay, you got something to do, go do it. Be a leader of your learning. Be independent. Go do the thing. You come up to me, we conference. Like, it is such a perfect way for me to teach math. Students knew a job to do. They were in charge of their learning per se. Like, they were in that leadership role to do what they got to do, to take the steps, to get their headphones, to turn it on. Like, they were leaders of their learning. I loved it. And it really, really helped because, again, I taught 5th grade. They were going into middle school. And now being a middle school teacher, back then, I knew it would be such a disservice if I did not teach these kids independence going into middle school. For the kids and the students and their parents, like, disservice. Benefits of this classroom model, of the flipped classroom, was the family support and connection that I mentioned already. So I want to support families outside of the classroom. And how can I do that? By doing this, creating the videos, sending the links home, saying this is how you can help your student, this is how you can reinforce. And I promise, like, when I was growing up, I was not a straight A student. I was an average student. I struggled in reading. Math, yeah, I was fine at it. But I will tell you, relearning the Common Core state standards on how to do math, it makes so much more sense to me, even as an adult. So I know if parents just watched the video and learned with their child, they would understand it, because that is the benefit of it. If students didn't finish it in class, they can take it at home, get reinforcement at home, get more help at home. I already talked about it in the beginning of this video. Benefit number 3, lots of small group time, and it's more effective than whole group. So it's almost like, let's think about it. Okay, we're taught in teacher school to do whole group, right? Okay, well, time and place. And also, don't you think the students who have no idea what the heck is happening, do you really think they're learning? Like, they're just sitting there like, I don't know what's happening, and they're tapping out. There's a better use of my time than that. There's a better use of the students' time. Like, this model is so nice for the small group, because a lot of my energy gets to go into that small group who need that extra reinforcement, and I still get to conference one-on-one with students. Like, it's such a win-win. It's beautiful. It's so much better than the standard way, I'm telling you. Benefit number 4, why this is so great, is it's good for a huge bulk of students. Kind of like I mentioned with the last point, but you know, with students, with a group of students, you're always gonna have the high and the low. That's just how it is. Like, no matter what, within that space. Now, do you think the high and accelerated kids wanna sit there and listen to the whole group of, they already got it, they get it, they wanna be challenged more? And I think challenging accelerated students goes far above giving them more work. I want to challenge them in the ways of, how can you be a self-efficient learner? How can you challenge yourself in following the directions, watching the video? And you know what? Another thing is, the high achieving student, especially in math, they're naturally going to be challenging what I'm saying in the video in a way. They might first want to look at the math problem and try to solve it on their own. They might want to do that. They might want to dive into that math problem, be like, okay, it's asking me this, I'm gonna try it. They want to try it on their own. They want to watch the video, because in the video I'm literally laying out, let's do this problem together. They can pause it, try it on their own, watch me solve it, compare it to their answer. That is how the accelerated student thinks and acts and does. They like want to see if they can do it on their own. Whereas if you're making them sit whole group, this is them. I feel like that way in professional development sometimes, so I can feel this. So I want to allow the accelerated student to do what they want to do, or like learn how they best want to learn. This is what differentiating is all about, right? Whereas the average student, this is where I was sitting, this is who I was, wants to go step by step by step. They want to see it clean. They may even want to rewind it. You can't rewind whole group live instruction. You can't do it. For me, that's how I learn best. I learn best by going step by step by step. And then if I don't get it, I want to rewind the video and I want to watch it again. So that's for the middle tier. And then for the small group students, the students who need that reinforcement, guess what? We're having our own little small group together. Like we're together, I have my own whiteboard, we're going step by step by step. We're doing a skill that they need to be reinforced on in order to master this next skill. Like, it's chef's kiss. It is chef's kiss. Like, oh my gosh. I'm like falling in love with this strategy all over again. And the last benefit that I wrote down for this strategy of the flipped classroom is I get to see students one-on-one. I get to meet with them one-on-one because I make it a priority. I want to meet with them one-on-one. That is how we build relationship. That is how we build rapport. Like that is how I am like, okay, what's going on? How you doing? Like, what are you struggling with? Oh, okay, it's like having a math tutor in a way. Like they're meeting with me one-on-one. That is huge. We know this. When you get that one-on-one help, it could be something so little, I'm able to point it out to them, bam, they're gonna remember it. Oh, you didn't do this, let's do this. Like, especially if you have that relationship with students, of course, like they are going to learn so much better and the learning's gonna stick with them a bit more. And that's what I saw. That is what I saw with my students. My students did so good on their like map growth. Back in the day, we would do MAP, M-A-P, where they would do, it wasn't iReady, it was MAP. So they would get tested like the second week of school, then we would retest in December, retest at the end of spring. And the chunk that mattered the most was from the beginning of the school year till December. My school, from what I understood, wanted to see the highest growth. It wasn't about like proficiency in a way, it was more about the percentage of growth, like how much we wanted to see students grow. So that means like the low level kid wanted to grow in any way. The high achieving student wanted to grow in any way upward. Hello, this strategy does it. Okay, now let's talk about how to manage your math block. So these are a couple little tips and tricks that I used within my math block period that made this so smooth, so easy, and really enjoyable. So the first thing I did, obviously, was be very firm and strict on the procedure of it is math block time. What does that mean? What does that look like? Like, what is accepted, what is not accepted? So students knew you got to get the math page, okay? Math page out and ready, name on it, topic. You need to get out your whiteboard and your marker, okay? Video, headphones, Chromebook, headphones. Where do you find the video? Oh, in Canvas, excellent job. Where do you find the assignment at? It's literally like on the same link, it's on the same page. Yep, exactly. I have found that if you are very stern, okay, taking out your emotions, and very stern on the rules and expectation, it's easier. Like, you don't need to get your emotions involved in this. And what I mean by that is, and this is for the newer teacher, when I was new to teaching, I would feel bad, no. It's not personal. I'm giving direction. I'm not mean. I am just being direct. I am the leader. I am the adult. This is what is the exception. This is what you do. Okay, like, let's do it. Let's get it done. Let's go. Also explicitly teaching them, putting their name on the board. Now, what are you going to do when you wait to conference with me? What are students going to do? One, when they're waiting to conference with you one-on-one, to after they're done with the assignment. What are they gonna do? For me, we had Rocket Math. I think that's what it was called, where it would help them with their math fluency. Please do that. It is so helpful. Have them do it. Math fluency. Let's go. Do it. And then if they're done with their math fluency for the day, guess what? You get to play a math game. Prodigy. I'm very strict though. This is a side note. I am very strict on computer programs that students can use in class. Prodigy I'm fine with, and they like it. So, all right. The next thing that you need to do to manage your math block for this flipped classroom style teaching is, I mentioned it earlier, but giving the students who you need to pull for small group a little ticket, a little reminder, something indiscreet, low key, that they know this is who I need to pull for small group. Or maybe you don't even need to call a small group. Just say, let's have a meeting. Like, you don't even have to announce it to the whole class. You can just pull them aside and like pull them outside the classroom even and say, hey guys, when we start our math block, since you guys have this ticket, that means I need to see you in the back room. Okay? So you need to remember that that is where you need to be. All right? And you like make sure they all understand. Got it? And I say that from a place of, I used to have to be pulled out of small group for reading. I used to have to be literally pulled out for that. Really put like a hindrance on my mindset about myself growing up of, I'm not very smart or good at reading. I'm not very like smart. And I don't believe in that now. I can see how that was just an idea and a thought. That's not true. But I don't know, I just am really, I guess, empathetic on that. So I think it's helpful to be mindful of that and thinking of a way of not like putting the students on blast if they are lower level, but do what you want. Now, if you're like, okay, Bree, I do not have enough time in my math block to do that. That's fine. Do what you can. You can alternate where you can meet one-on-one on a different day, a different time. Work within your schedule, what works best for you. But the management piece is just so nice, because if students know the expectations and they're clean and they're crisp and your emotions aren't in the way and you're just saying it as it is, it works really well and it's really smooth, okay? It's so nice. And like I said, if you don't have enough time during your math block, you're like, I don't have enough time, what the heck? You can collect, grade on your prep. I hate to say this, grade at home. I don't do any of that, I'm just telling you right now. Unless I absolutely need to, I do it once a year. Once a year I do that. But if you need to, because I get it, and if you want to, I understand. You can grade it at home and then conference the next day in the morning or something. You can do something. You're creative. You can figure it out. This is how I did it. This is an idea of how you can do it. Like, feel free to manipulate, change, rearrange my ideas, please. Okay, so that was all the details on what you need to run a successful math flipped classroom style. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below and I will get back to you and help you with them. Also, please remember my 5th grade flipped classroom bundle resource is down below. It is really great, really nice. If you're in 5th grade, and even extra bonus points if you use Envisions for 5th grade math, like that resource is literally like all you need. It is really nice. Let's get into the tea. Now, I feel like I need to say, this is not like to promote like hate or anything dumb like that. This is literally like, let's laugh at the situation because it's so ridiculous. Okay, let me get my coffee. So I have to share this story time because it is ridiculous, and I know in my heart, if I share my experiences of what I've witnessed inside of the education space and the education sphere of a public school teacher, I know I'm not the only one, and people can be unhinged. And also, if you do or are experiencing something like this, I want to give you all of the power and like reinforcement to stand up for yourself and not stand for this. It's ridiculous. Like, It is ridiculous. Do not allow someone to treat you in this way and cross the boundary like this. So this is me helping out the teacher who maybe is a little bit newer. I don't know why I see this happening with a lot of younger teachers, like older teachers that have been in the game longer with the younger teachers. Like for some reason, they think it's okay to like act a certain way towards younger teachers. I don't know. That's just, again, this is my experience. This is what I saw. And I know I'm not the only one. And I'm saying it as a joke because it's funny, because it's so ridiculous. I came up with this flipped classroom math idea in the beginning of the year. And also one of the best pieces of advice that I heard, especially in the beginning of my teaching career, especially teaching elementary school, oh my God. Because in elementary school, you teach 5 subjects a day, was focus on one subject really well. Focus on a subject really well. Master that one subject that one year, and then next year, you'll have all of this gained knowledge of the subject that you can apply to next year. And then the next year you work on a new subject, and then over time you'll be pretty mastered and solid, right? That's the theory. Well, I did that because listen, it's called chunking and chewing. It's called, and you do this with teaching with students, you're not gonna throw 20 things at them and like catch it all. No, same with teaching. What can you do really well at and focus on and like chew on it and then grab more and chew on more? So going into that school year, that was my 5th year of teaching. Second time teaching 5th grade. I decided that math was going to be my focus. It was like a whole school focus of math. They wanted to get higher MAP scores in math. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. It's my decision, that's what I'm gonna do, okay. That and classroom management, always. Classroom management is like a given, in my opinion. Always improving that. I had a team of 5th grade teachers, and you know, I thought we were all cool, whatever. Well, one of them, I talk about this and the reason why, or my crazy 5-year teaching story, I'll leave it here. I'll leave the link down below. It's a fun listen, and it's all real experiences that I had in the education space. But one of the teachers was just a very loud, like forceful, loud person. I'm not like that really. I'm a little bit more like reserved. I like to observe. I'm not super like forceful in your face, like that's not me. So I wanted to run this experiment. I wanted this to be an experiment. I wanted to see if this was an effective method of teaching math. Because all the reasons I said in this video, I wanted more time, I wanted more space, I wanted to maximize my time for the highest reward, right? Like highest math scores, okay. So I ran this play by myself alone. I wanted to see if it was worth bringing to the table of PLC time when we would meet as a grade level. But also, one of the teachers was very forceful on their idea, not very like open, like, hey, what do you think we should do with this? What do you guys want to do? It wasn't really like that. And again, this is 3 years ago. This teacher was made way more just, and she was there longer. I was new. I'm like, okay. And I do like doing my own thing within my classroom. I really do not like having to be on the doing the same exact thing as my co-teachers. No, I like having more autonomy. I love autonomy. So I decided to run this play by myself. I recorded my videos. I tried it out. I wanted to see from the beginning of the school year to December that growth. I wanted to see if there was growth. It was a chance. It was, you know, I wanted to try it. And at that school I was at, we had a lot of autonomy. So I ran the play, I did it. When it came to December time, at this point I could feel there was some weird energy going on within the team. And I'm like, whatever. I'm literally blocking it out. Like, no. I'm very firm on my boundaries. And I'm talking energetic boundaries as well of, I can feel you're being a weirdo. I can feel you have some issue, but I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring it. I'm here for the kids. I'm here for my job. I'm not here for you. Out of here. So whatever, I'm doing the play, we're taking the test. We had to input our map growth data into a spreadsheet that was shared with the whole school. So, and like 5th grade was on the same page of the spreadsheet, and you had to enter the numbers to find the average growth. I'm like 98% certain I had the highest growth. And I had higher within the whole team. If not that, because I cannot remember, if not that, I had higher average growth than this teacher who was having some type of feelings towards me. That caused so much drama. It was ridiculous. So this teacher's all upset, all mad, mad that I had higher average growth than they did. And I'm like shaking my head. What is this? What is this? I'll tell you, it is ego getting in the way. It is being human. And guess what? I forgive this person, whatever. I am not taking it personally, and this person was older than me by probably 10 years, 10, 8-ish years older than me. Like ridiculous, unhinged. So yeah, they were running their mouth all about me within the school to where people kept asking me, hey, how are you and your team? How are you in blah blah? And I'm like, good. There's no reason for me to think anything other, because I would think if you had an issue or needed clarification or whatever, you would come to me, right? You would be mature enough to say, hey, like, this is how I feel. This is what, you know, having a discussion. No. That's not what happened. So running their mouth, getting all upset, like spreading these weird rumors. I'm pretty sure saying I wasn't actually teaching my kids, doing this strategy. It was just ridiculous. So then I had to contact my principal and hold a meeting. It's like such a joke. It's such a joke. And then in the meeting, I'm trying to remember this video where I talk about it. It was more fresh in my mind, but it was very unhinged and unstable, very emotionally unstable. And in my opinion, should you be teaching if you're that unhinged and that unemotionally unstable? Or that emotionally unstable? No, you shouldn't, in my opinion. In my opinion, like, you need to be the example of respect, example of being mature. You are the example being a teacher and leading children. So that is gross to me, and that is ridiculous. Like, that is what you should not do. And the fact that they got to continue to teach and was so irate in the principal's office that started yelling at me. What is that? Over things that she never even addressed to me. So just getting worked up over nothing. Now, because I like to reflect a lot, I could have shared what I was doing with the team out loud and said, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm planning on doing, da da da. I could have. Should I have? Maybe I should have. You know what, for this video and like for reflecting purposes, yeah, I should have said, hey, this is what I'm planning to do. I'm gonna collect evidence on it and see if it's worthwhile to do again next year, next semester. Maybe I did. Let's just say I didn't. I could have done that. That would have been better. Also, here's another little detail that came in. Remember when I told you one of the best pieces of teaching advice I have gotten was focus on one subject, be really good at it, master it, then the next year do another subject? I shared that with the team in a PLC one time. This teacher wanted to use what I said against me. Like, what are you even doing? You are loco. They told my admin that I said, I don't care about any other subject. I just care about one subject. Totally misconstruing what I said to fit her viewpoint on me. She didn't like me. Obviously. whatever. There's nothing I can do with that. Like, either you're gonna look at people through the perspective of, in the view of what do we have in common, or you're gonna view people in how are we different, I don't like them, we're different. And by the way, if you ever have this experience and this people or a person is just projecting on you like crazy, question them. That's what I was doing. I was questioning them. I was like, why do you think that means this? How does that mean that? You know, I was questioning her. I was questioning the things she was saying, and she could not come up with an answer, so she combusted. Is it combusted? She like erupted. She was so emotionally unhinged that she erupted, and it was crazy. And then after that decision, or after that happened, it was like right before winter break, she tries to call me, apologize to me. It was insane. And I do, like, sitting here today, if this person ever watches this, let's laugh at it. Laugh about how unhinged you were. Just do it, because you were, and that's the only way you can move forward without like shame and guilt, whatever. Like, just laugh about it. And I do forgive you. I can laugh about it now. It makes me laugh because it was crazy, and that's how I personally move through things. When I do something unhinged or am if I'm being an idiot on something, I choose to laugh at it and move on from it. And guess what? It works for me. It works. So try that, and I do forgive you, and I hope you're doing well, all the things, but that was crazy. Like, that was crazy. I hope that was a pivotal point of, yeah, let's like not do that again. And I decided to leave teaching after that. That was the nail in the coffin of, okay, I'm done. I'm getting the hint now, God, universe, I get it. You want me out. I need to make a move. This is ridiculous. I'm leaving. I almost got like beat up in the principal's office from an unhinged emotional person. Got it. And then guess what? Nothing happened to them. So then I had to co-teach with them across the hallway. Yeah. And then if my students were being too loud, they would call my principal and have him come into my room and like talk to me, because my students were too loud when they were working on a group project in the hallway. This happens way more than you can ever imagine. But now I teach middle school science and I really enjoy it. It is so much better. So good. All right. So thank you so much for watching this. Let me know what you thought about this video. Hopefully it was super helpful. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.